just as a quick recap, a quick overview of what you've seen in this course, you've seen the role of operations management in different types of organizations. You've seen some decision-making frameworks and techniques. You've seen the underlying principles, the underlying intuition behind some of these techniques and frameworks. You've seen some process evaluation methods, some metrics and how to calculate them, learned the mechanics of calculating some of these metrics. So these are some of the topics that we've covered in this course. In terms of the specific topics for each of the modules, you've seen operations strategy, more from a strategic level. How does an organization decide what kind of customers they want to pursue and how do they pursue them? You've seen from more of a tactical perspective, process analysis, how do companies make decisions about process capacity utilization, or what goes into making those decisions, as well as some ways of assessing processes in terms of work in process inventory, your throughput rate, as well as the throughput time that it takes for products to go through a particular process. In the third module, you've seen inventory and supply chain management. These topics focus on supply chain management from a strategic perspective, as well as inventory management more from a day-to-day decision perspective, deciding how much to order, when to order. And finally, quality management, the fourth module, you saw some underlying thinking behind quality management initiatives, some examples of quality management initiatives. Then you also saw some techniques like statistical process control, and you learned about the mechanics of applying those techniques. You saw the underlying thinking behind them, but also how you would apply those techniques based on different data that you could collect from processes. The materials that we use in this course and that you may find useful going forward to go back and refer to them are the slides. There's a lot of information in the slides that we put together in this course, and of course the videos that go along with them. There are the readings. We had the recommended readings as well as the required readings, and you can always go back to them and reference them in terms of learning more in depth or refreshing yourself on any particular concept that you find that you are forgetting about. There were extensive lists of references at the end of each of the slides, at the end of each of the sessions that you might find useful in terms of going back to the fundamental research that went into some of the concepts that you learned, as well as the applications of some of the concepts that we've learned. So there will be references that you might find useful for that purpose as well. And finally, you had these assignments that you did for each module, and these assignments you not only did them, but you also graded your peers on these assignments. So you got a sense of looking at the way you approached it after going through the lesson, as well as some of the other people that approached it, as well as looking at the solutions to these assignments. So you got some sense of different approaches that people might take for the same kind of problem that you might see. How this course will be useful going forward, it's useful as a foundation for learning more about operations management topics, learning more about process optimization, for example, or learning more about supply chain management or operations strategy. So you'll find this course to be as a good foundation for any of those types of courses, or even if you want to get into roles in companies that are going to be focusing on them. In terms of your work experience, you might not end up working in operations management. You might end up working in marketing or in information systems. Your job might take you into human resource management or cost accounting. And in any of these departments, in any of these functions, you'll find the knowledge that you've gained about operations management, the basic knowledge that you've gained in this course, to be useful, to be able to relate to things that you will do on a day-to-day basis in those functions. And finally, if you have aspirations of getting into upper management, any upper management person should have the fundamental operations management knowledge that we have gone through in this course. So it'll be useful to you as an upper management employee of a company as well. In terms of linking this to other business decisions, so we talked about other functions, so how exactly Does it relate to other business functions? And you can think of these as being areas in which you can do other courses as well. So in terms of determining your target customers, something that the marketing department or the marketing courses talk about a lot in terms of delivering customer value. You talk about these in cost accounting as to how do you measure the value of each of the steps in a process, and you also talk about this in marketing. In terms of making resource investments, so from a financial analysis perspective, making resource investments, so some of the things that we've talked about in operations directly linked to making resource investments. And finally, in terms of assessing and even improving process efficiencies, you can use some of the things that you've learned in the operations management course if you get into a process improvement type of role. And more specifically related to this last point, we have a related course that you can take in process improvement, and that deals with taking some of the things that you've seen in the quality management module and going more in depth into them, using techniques that are used in Six Sigma and Lean process improvement initiatives, making decisions such as where should we be putting our resources in terms of what strategy should we be pursuing from our quality management initiative. So decisions like prioritizing projects or what projects we should be selecting, or how should we be training our people to think about process improvement. So there's a related course that deals directly with these kinds of decisions that you may be interested in, that will take everything that you've learned about in this course and take it further from there from a quality improvement perspective. So in closing, we hope that you've enjoyed the lessons that we've put together for you. The team here at the University of Illinois has certainly enjoyed putting this together. We've enjoyed the interactions with you, and we hope these interactions continue. And we hope to see you in further courses as well. Thank you for your attention.